we're gonna go ahead and begin up a little bit, and then we're gonna go down, out. Okay, and if we take the measurements here, we'll notice that this right here is 2 nuqtas downwards. Okay, and this right here is gonna be 2 nuqtas and a half. Okay. And you can see that over here. And then for instance, if harf al-ha were to come after, harf al-ha would come like this. And then we would go ahead and go do the body of harf al-ha, which we've learned before as well. Same strokes. The strokes here are not different than the normal ha that we've learned. And then if you have a ba, you would place the nuqta somewhere within this vicinity, right? You want to avoid putting the nuqta over here, because then that would make it seem as if this is a harf al-jim, which it isn't. So you want to make sure that you are clear with the placement of your nuqta for what this is, right? If it's a noon, you put it above. If it's a ba, you put it somewhere in this region or vicinity. If it's a ya, you would put it over here, or tha, you'd put it up. So placement is variable, but you also want to make sure that what you're writing is clear and you are not confusing people with that this is harf al-jim. The third format for harf al-ba in the beginning is going to look like this. We're going to curve down and out for a little bit, and then curve down a third time, or a second time. So this is going to be 2 nuqtas wide. Some people say it's a nuqta and a half, but we're going to say it's 2 nuqtas for simplicity. And you can think of this as the divide, right? So for the first portion, you are going down and out, and then for the second portion, you're going out and down. So this is a mirror image of itself. Okay, again, symmetry is what gives this script the beauty it has. So the more symmetry you have, and the more consistency you have, the more beautiful your art will become. This ba is typically used with harf al-ra. So for harf al-ra, in a combination, it's similar to its individual format, right? So assuming this is the tip of the ra, this is where we would begin, right? And we would go down, and for harf al-ra we would just go out, and then we would finish harf al-ra. Okay, and we can discuss the harf al-ra combination of other letters in a separate video, but I just wanted to illustrate it over here. Then you can fix these edges once you are complete and done. Okay, so that is, they can use this for harf al-ya or harf al-noon or ta, right? And this is how that combination would look like. Moving on, the last version of harf al-ba in the beginning, right, would be with harf al-ya. Okay, and it essentially looks like a number 1 in Arabic, and this is going to be a nuqta and a half long. Okay, and a half. Okay, this portion right here goes with the ya in the following way. You can do it in 2 ways, right? The first way you can do it with harf al-ya is you bring it down like that, like we did earlier, and then you would, for harf al-ya, you would do this little script that we'll discuss in the future, inshallah, with the harf al-ya. And then you would finish it off like that. That would be a ba with harf al-ya, right? And you can put, so harf al-ya, you can put the the two nuqtas down here for ya, or you can even leave it without the two nuqtas and it will be read as ya. So you can put the harf al-ba nuqta over here. Okay? That is the first way to write ba with the ya. The other way you can write ba with the ya is just similar to that method where, let's move that camera a little bit. We would do something along the lines of this. So same thing as we did, and then we would create this body for harf al-ya. And that is completely valid as well. Whichever method you use works, and it is valid for that. So again, just to summarize, these are the different formats for harf al-ba. We have this initial form and this form. Now, when would you use this over this? If you are writing harf al-ba alif, right? And it is, the base of it is not on the line, but rather like somewhere above the line because of space or aesthetic looks. The alif would be a little shorter, and in that situation you would use this shape, as this shape helps to reduce the emphasis on the alif. So if it's a long alif like on the base, this works as well. But if you are to lift this off the line and your alif is going to be just a little bit shorter, using this will essentially overcome the alif, and it's going to make it, the aesthetics of it is not going to look pretty. So this is typically used when you're off the line and your alif has to be a little shorter. This is typically only used when you are on the line and you are like writing on the base of the line. You can use this format and that's completely fine. You don't typically use this when you are writing, above the line for any reason. And again, just to review, this shape right here is used with the meme and the ha. This is the example that we used with harf al-ha, or the initial portion. It rises up for about half a nuqta, and then it goes down and out for 2 nuqtas each. So you can even draw a square over here and you should get that format. If you can get the angle right, in this case it was a little thick. Over here, this is a more correct form of that aspect, okay? And we can discuss harf al-ha shape in the middle in a separate video. This is the third or the fourth shape, I apologize. And again, curved down and out, and then out and down, and it is symmetrical in that aspect. So nuqta in the first form and the nuqta in the second form, and that is used with harf al-ra. And the last form is this number 1 looking item, that is a nuqta and a half, and that is used with harf al-ya, as you can see in both of these yas. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and inshallah we will discuss example words in another video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.